Hello, welcome to Small Talk. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Small Talk. You know, now that marijuana is legal, I'm wondering, is that going to impact our lives? And if so, how? Are people now going to be walking down the street and openly smoking a joint? And if they do, as we walk by, are we going to have to inhale that, whether we want to or not? Maybe our guest has some ideas about this. Ladies and gentlemen, please meet Jason Metcalfe.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm great. I'm really pleased that you agreed to come on. Before we talk about your current career, I just wanted to backtrack a little bit on what jobs you had previously to what you're doing now.
Sure. I have a very diverse background over several different industries. More recently, I was on a sabbatical before taking this job with Zenabis, a cannabis company. Prior to that, I was within a local development and construction firm in the project management role. So working on a lot of local developments on Promontory, Webster Crossing, and throughout Chilliwack.
Okay. I also know that you were once a realtor.
I used to sell real estate in the Okanagan.
In the Okanagan.
Yeah, in South Penticton, OK Falls, Oliver. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, but you're from Chilliwack originally,
But I'm from Chilliwack, yeah, absolutely. Every good story has a girl involved, so at one time I was up in the Okanagan. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so now let's talk about your current job. As you said, it's with what's it called?
It's called Zenabis. So Zenabis is a global cannabis company.
Global?
Global, absolutely. We have relationships all over the world, actually. Starting in Europe, we're working on different deals down south as well, and but based out of Canada for the moment.
How did you get involved in that?
Well, actually, I was on a sabbatical, and I was starting to get a little bit squirrely. I was looking for a new challenge, and a recruiter contacted me about a construction coordinator position. Mm-hmm. I originally wasn't interested. However, he said it had to do with a conversion of a greenhouse from its traditional routes of floral and vegetable propagation into cannabis. So that was kind of interesting, and I thought, hey, why not?
Yeah, why not, for sure. So, do you think, now that it's legal, do you think that cannabis stores will be popping up everywhere, kind of the way the dollar stores did?
Yeah, well, one can only hope so. One of the challenges that I've been noticing here, especially in Chilliwack, is that the municipal jurisdictions have control over the retail distribution, and that's been quite a challenge from a supply standpoint, because they're really putting up a lot of barriers to entry for retail operations to start operating within the local jurisdiction. So yeah, I would like to see it happen a little bit more swiftly, but of course a lot of people have concerns, and they want to make sure that it's handled appropriately.
Right, yeah. So what does your job entail?
Sure. So my job, I am the director of Zenabis Langley. So it is a 2-greenhouse site in Langley. We're first converting over 10 acres into cannabis growing, and then we'll be converting over 38 acres. So it stands to be one of North America's largest cannabis cultivation sites. And right now we're just going for our first license for the first phase of the first 10 acres. Now
tell me about some of the forms that it comes in.
Sure. So you have your dried flower, which is the standard use, which a lot of people will use in, say, a rolling papers to smoke as a marijuana cigarette, or they'll use it in a pipe application. It can come in an oil for droplets or for inhalation as well. And as we'll be seeing later on this year, it'll be infused with a lot of different edibles. So you'll have cookies, candies, beverages.
So
as well.
Is that legal now, like that part of it?
It's currently illegal, absolutely. So towards the fall of this year, the Canadian government plans to legalize it fully, and they're just going through the rules and regulations and exactly what that will look like.
Okay. So before the break, I was going to ask you about people judging other people who are smoking, or whatever way you're taking it. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it makes it pretty difficult right now in society for a lot of individuals to accept people who are users of the drug. It's really unfortunate because the medicinal benefits of cannabis are becoming more and more known, which is fantastic due to legalization. Now, research and development by universities and different organizations are helping shine some light on the positive benefits of it. When it comes to, say, people that are addicted to opiates or other forms of therapy that have bad side effects, cannabis can be a real game changer for them. So it's unfortunate that the stigmatization still exists with a lot of the population, but as more and more information becomes available, hopefully people will become more educated and accepting of it. And even recreationally, when you take a look at the side effects as compared with something like alcohol or a lot of other popular drugs, it's quite a bit of a difference in a beneficial way.
Because I live in a condo, we have to make, now that it's legal, like we have to do something with our bylaws, because obviously if I would decided to smoke it, would be allowed. But I can't allow the smoke, the odor to get out into the hallway or something
absolutely.
like that. You know, so that changes a lot of things for a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
And the smell is not, for me, I don't find it pleasant. So I wouldn't want to smell it as somebody else's.
No, and I would agree. I don't find the secondhand smoke to be a pleasant odor.
Yeah.
However, I mean, I think it would be prudent to take the same approach as cigarette smoke.
Right.
Whereas it can be an issue if you're smoking it indoors in your unit and it's filtering into the hallway and bothering people. It should be treated the exact same.
Right.
Where just kind of keep it to a respectful distance from open windows and doors and keep it under control that way.
Okay, so let's switch gears for a bit. I know you're working very long hours. So let's assume you have some time off. And what do you do when you're for some leisure time?
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, last weekend was a long weekend, so I went out to Tofino. I went surfing. Just took some time to relax and rewind, spent some time reading, but just hitting the beach, hitting the waves. But you can find me camping, hiking. My friends and I, we go on try to do I call it like a suffer trip every year, where we'll take a week off and go for a hike in the mountains somewhere for over 100 kilometers or that sort of thing. Really
That's a lot of hiking.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Just get out there, get away from it, no cell phones, and just truly just hang out.
Have you lived mostly though in Chilliwack?
Yeah, Chilliwack, pretty much born and raised. So I went to Sardis Elementary, Mount Celeste Middle School, and Sardis Secondary.
And you have siblings?
I have a younger brother.
Oh, and that's it, just the two of you?
Yeah, just a younger brother.
Okay.
And he's great, he's fantastic. He actually just had his birthday, and he's a full-time paramedic.
What's his name?
His name's Danny.
Happy birthday, Danny!
He'll love it.
Yeah, well, very good. Well, hopefully he'll get to see that. From your career choices, though, it sounds like it's always been, except for the real estate agent, it always seems like it's been in the same general area.
Yeah, just taking on difficult projects, I guess you could say. So I'm really up for challenges, and especially in different industries, just to learn and challenge myself. And I have a certain curiosity that just puts me in different positions to just learn about new and exciting topics and opportunities.
Yeah, that's great.
It's fun.
When you were young, what did you dream of doing?
For me, it was sports.
Yeah?
Yeah, I wanted to be a professional baseball player.
And did you try out?
Yeah, I used to play all the time, all through school, but injuries kind of kept me a little bit behind. I got tendonitis in both my Achilles tendons. And after going to see different doctors, they pretty much told me that the only cure is to not run for like a year.
Right.
So then I got into computers, played video games professionally for a little bit.
How can you play professionally?
Yeah, it was a long time ago. But
well, what does that mean, playing professionally?
Well, basically, there's this game called Counter-Strike, and I can hear the snickers online right now. But basically, it was just like a first-person shooter game where you have certain teams, and you just go compete one team against another.
Oh,
and
I see.
I would travel all throughout Canada and go to different events and that sort of thing. And so when I say professionally, that means I got paid for it. So
that's nice. Yeah. Anything you do that you get paid for is a bonus, I think.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and I'm glad I had that time in my my late teenage years.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it sounds like you had an interesting time up to date, so that's really good.
Yeah.
And now we're all out of time.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate being here, and I'm glad that you are taking the opportunity to explore, especially cannabis use, and helping to educate different people that it's okay. It's not a gateway drug, and it's not as harmful as, say, the old reefer madness information makes it out to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, thanks again.
Thank you.
And hope to see you again another time, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, and hope to see you. Stay tuned for the next episode coming, well, whenever it's coming. In the meantime, peace out.